If there's one thing that men have in this life, yeah, is audacity. Not you're already married. Can you go and talk to your husband and go and face your fronts in your own household? So what you're telling me is basically that if I need anything, I should call up your ex-married lover for advice. Let me ask you one thing, Charles. Are you mad or are you mad? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be discussing season 4 of The Crown.
That's my opinion!
And before I jump into the video, if you are a fellow binge watcher, you love everything film and TV, make sure you click that subscribe button and that bell notification to find out when I drop my next review, reaction or recommendation. So Netflix recently dropped the highly anticipated season 4 of The Crown. If you don't know what The Crown is basically a drama on Netflix which tells the story of Queen Elizabeth II, the reigning Queen of England, from her ascension till the modern time. Alright, so I think the biggest story for season 4 was the introduction of the infamous marriage between Charles and Diana, and the third wheeler, the mistress, the homewrecker, known as the character of Camilla. And that was something I was definitely interested to see what take they would, how they would portray it. I appreciated that there was a level of depth to the marriage. It wasn't just, okay, boom, we're just gonna show you that they were locked into this frustrating marriage and Charles was cheating and they were upset. Even throughout the whole season, you see glimpse of love, you see glimpse of frustration, you see that there was depth to the marriage. There was different layers other than just adultery and pain, even though that was a very significant part of it. I think as an audience, as someone that was watching it, I really appreciated that they showed the relationship in that different element. Obviously, it wasn't just the storyline of Charles and Diana that attracted me. I wanted to see how they were going to display Camilla. And let me tell you one thing, she was the villain. She was definitely the villain through and through. There was no saving grace for her character. There was no level of understanding for her character. No, her character was essentially the person that you hated throughout the entire season. Period. And there was one scene that really just kind of was like, listen, I'm not on this woman's team. She needs to get out. And it was the scene when Diana and Camilla went to lunch or to dinner or something. You know what? No. Even before that, when Charles had told Diana that, oh, if you need anything, make sure that you can hit up Camilla. I was thinking, if there's one thing that men have in this life, is audacity. If there's one thing that you can promise that men will have, is audacity. So what you're telling me is basically that if I need anything, I should call up your ex-married lover for advice.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Let me ask you one thing, Charles. Are you mad or are you mad? Because it's one of the two. It's one of the two. You're either mad or you're mad, because there was no sanity in what he had said to her. So obviously through the script and through the writing, you are really put in a position to understand that there are two careless characters who have no regard for the feelings or the emotion of the third person, of the wife. Do you get what I mean? And you get that feeling of almost anger, and as far as I would say, I don't want to say hatred, but just deep, intense, like you want to go through your screen and tell this lady to flip and bugger off, mate, because you're already married. Can you go and talk to your husband and go and face your fronts in your own household? You're coming to destroy a nice marriage because you're in love? Forget you're in love, bro. He has a duty. You already married someone. He didn't marry you because you're married. What's so hard to understand? What is so hard to understand? My only negative from the Charles and Diana and Camilla storyline is that I think in the department of character development, it lacked a little bit, because you have to remember these seasons, that 10 or 9 episodes long, but they span over a period of like 10 to 11 years. I don't think her character ever necessarily grew up from the perspective of just being someone that is locked in this cage that she needs to be released. Then again, we might see it in season 5, but that's the only thing that I think they they lagged on. The big storyline with Thatcher was the beef that she had with the Queen. Like the whole season basically was Queen versus Thatcher. Like who's gonna win? But yeah, I enjoyed the whole Thatcher versus the Queen saga. I think it was really well written, especially when they had those head-on-head collisions. And I would watch and I'd be like, oh, not Thatcher dragging the Queen in her own palace. Like there's definitely like those moments where you think, did she actually say that? Did the Queen actually take that? Personally, I wouldn't have that. Like you had those moments where you're really invested in this story. The only thing I would say that I didn't necessarily like was after some time, Thatcher's character became very one note. From episode 1 to episode 10, I don't think there was a lot of development in her character. I don't think we ever left the stage of, okay, this is the Iron Lady. It was only in episode 10 where we saw another side to her character, where it was like, okay, she actually has a heart, she's actually human, she actually feels, she can actually love. And that was only thing the last 10 minutes. So I would have really enjoyed to have seen that earlier, because again, this season was spanning 10 years. Okay, so my final verdict of The Crown, I would give it a solid 7. I would give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. 0.5 is if I'm being very nice. I think the overall tempo of the show, definitely, it had its highs and then it had its lows. It got a bit boring and then it spiked at the end. I think there were definitely episodes that I don't think needed to be 4 episodes, like deciding who the Queen's favourite was. That didn't necessarily need a whole episode. You could have done that in a cheeky 20 minutes. But yeah, that's my review of The Crown Season 4. Let me know what you thought of Season 4 of The Crown in the comment section. And if you liked my review and you want to see more content from me, make sure that you click that subscribe button and the bell notification so you know when I have posted. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms at That's My Opinion on Twitter and ET_LDN on Instagram. I will catch you guys on the next one. Remember,
That's my opinion!